Okay, welcome. Today, we get to dive into something really rewarding, I think. It's all about, truly connecting with young people, with students. How do we inspire them?
Yeah, that's a great topic.
And there's this interesting side effect, isn't there? Working with teenagers, their energy,
Mm,
it does kind of keep you young, or at least feeling current.
it definitely does. You see things fresh.
So I've been in this field a while, and this question from researcher Kevin Brake always sticks with me. He asked, is teaching fundamentally about inspiring students, not just educating them?
That really cuts right to it, doesn't it?
It feels like the absolute core.
It's a brilliant starting point
Yeah,
because it highlights that huge difference, between just passing on facts
right, shoveling information.
and actually lighting that fire, that real desire to learn inside someone.
Exactly. So what are we working with today for this deep dive?
We've got a fantastic speech as our source. It's this really good mix of practical classroom strategies
Right.
and some deeper reflections on how you actually make that shift from just educator to inspirer.
Nice.
So for everyone listening, our mission here is to pull out those really actionable bits, the stuff you can actually use.
The aha moments.
Yeah, those aha moments.
Yeah.
Whether you're like literally in a classroom or maybe leading a team at work or honestly just trying to connect better with anyone and help them grow.
Gotcha. Okay, so this speech, it started by painting a picture of a big shift, a change in teaching. It contrasted two scenes. First, the kind of classroom maybe a lot of us remember.
Oh, yeah. Teacher up front.
Teacher up front, lecturing maybe, students are quiet, tests are mostly just remembering facts.
Pure recall. Right.
But then the speaker described this school art fair, and it sounded completely different.
Totally different. Like a buzz.
Yeah, buzzing.
Yeah.
Students totally into their projects, making choices, really seemed like they were thriving. What jumped out at you about that?
Well, it's the agency, isn't it? That art fair just screams student agency. When they have that real autonomy, that feeling of ownership.
This is mine.
Exactly. That intrinsic motivation just, well, kind of explodes. You see it kick in.
And seeing that contrast, that was the turning point for the speaker.
Yeah.
Made them rethink their whole approach.
Absolutely. It prompted this move away from that more passive model where the teacher's really holding all the cards,
Yeah, yeah. And that led to this framework the speaker developed. They called it the 5 C's.
The 5 C's.
Became the foundation for this more dynamic, student-driven approach. Let's unpack these. First one, choice.
Right. Choice.
Sounds simple, but it's more than just pick anything, isn't it?
Right.
It's about having different types of tasks.
Precisely. It's offering varied options that actually match up with different learning styles, different preferences.
Okay.
Because let's face it, people connect with stuff in different ways, right? Some are visual, some learn by doing.
Some need to talk it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So choice taps into that. It lets students find their path to understanding it, uses their strengths, their curiosity.
Makes sense. Okay, C number 2, collaboration. I like the phrase, the speaker used a bridge-building exercise.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's not just, okay, get into groups.
Right.
It's about them actively, building something together, figuring things out together.
So learning isn't just solo.
No way. I mean, sometimes it feels that way in old school setups, but collaboration, it builds teamwork, shows them different viewpoints.
Then they learn from each other, too.
Hugely.
Oh.
Plus, you're building those crucial people skills they'll need, forever.
Okay, so choice, collaboration,
Yeah.
then communication. The speech said, dialogue is key for teamwork to actually work.
Absolutely essential. You can't really collaborate properly if you can't communicate, can you?
True.
And communication is way more than just talking, right? It's listening.
Active listening.
Yeah. Being able to get your own ideas across clearly and handling disagreements respectfully, all that good stuff.
Which feeds right into the 4th C, critical thinking. This is about getting those analytical gears turning, right? Tackling complex problems.
Yeah, digging deeper, moving past just memorizing answers to understanding the why.
Evaluating information, forming their own conclusions.
Exactly. Analyzing, checking validity, putting different ideas together. It helps them become independent thinkers, good problem solvers, super valuable skills today.
Definitely. And the last of the initial 5 is creativity, likened to crafting a new story.
Yeah, I loved that description, encouraging that original spark.
Thinking outside the box.
For sure. And creativity isn't just for art class, right? It's innovative thinking, period.
In science, in writing, anywhere.
Yeah. Generating new ideas, tackling problems from weird angles, giving them space to let that originality out.
It's really interesting. The speaker pointed out that for these collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity were actually flagged by the National Education Association ages ago.
Yeah, over a decade ago, I think, as key 21st century skills.
Right. Which really makes choice, that fifth one they added, seem like the catalyst, the thing that helps the other four really take off in this student-led model.
That's a great way to put it. Choice seems to be the activator.
And all this, it fundamentally changes the teacher's job description, doesn't it?
Oh, completely.
You're not the sage on the stage anymore.
Right.
More like a guide, a facilitator.
Exactly. Less lecturer, more orchestrator of learning experiences. You set the stage, provide the tools, the framework, but the students are the ones actively building their own understanding. You empower them to own it, and you're there to help, guide, nudge.
Okay, so how did this look in practice? The speaker gave a great example from their own 9th grade biology class.
Yeah, the 3-week segments.
Right. And within those segments, students got this portfolio of learning options,
Right.
like a menu.
Yeah, exactly like a menu. And it was packed with different ways in, really designed to hit lots of different learning styles and interests.
So what kind of things were on the menu?
Well, you had things like online research, right? For the
Yeah.
independent types. Then hands-on stuff like dissections, or that great image of building a DNA model with pipe cleaners.
Huh. Yeah, you can picture the engagement there.
Totally. Then there were podcasts with question sheets.
Good for auditory learners.
Exactly. Group debates for the talkers. Interactive quizzes for quick feedback.
Okay.
Journal entries for the reflectors. And this cool science in action project.
Oh, yeah, where they design their own experiments, like testing plant growth under different lights.
Right. That kind of thing. Just
Yeah.
an incredible range.
But the key point, I guess, is that no matter what options students picked, they were still hitting the core learning goals, right? It wasn't just random fun.
Absolutely crucial point. Yes. Behind all that variety, the essential curriculum objectives were being met. Each option was designed to lead to mastery, just via a different route that worked for that student.
And this is telling. The speaker said that lectures, even final exams, became optional in this setup.
Yeah.
And guess what? Students mostly chose the self-directed modules instead.
Says it all, doesn't it?
It really does. It suggests that when they have real choice, real agency.
They get way more invested, intrinsically motivated. They're not just passively receiving. They're actively doing their education. Makes a world of difference.
Now, the speaker also talked about the influences behind this. Some big philosophical ideas. Socrates was mentioned.
Ah, yes. The classic.
Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. That just perfectly captures the inspire versus just educate idea, eh?
It really does. It's all about igniting that internal curiosity, that love of learning that's already in there, not just pouring facts into them.
Kindling the flame. Love that. And then John Dewey came up.
Do we?
Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself.
That feels so connected to making learning relevant now.
Definitely. Dewey was all about experience, right? Making learning part of their actual lives, not just some abstract thing for the future.
Real world connection. Yeah, practical, meaningful stuff they see the value in today. And you see how those biology options, like the Science in Action Project, really fit that.
True. The speaker also mentioned mentors, innovative teachers back in the 70s.
Yeah, showing these ideas aren't brand new. They've been building.
Right. And I got a kick out of the anecdote about debating pedagogy with a cardboard cutout of Dewey.
Yeah, that was great. Just that personal engagement, you know, really wrestling with the ideas.
Totally. Okay, so all this groundwork sets up what the speaker called the teacher paradox.
Ooh, intriguing.
Yeah. The idea is by stepping back, by giving up the center stage,
Relinquishing the spotlight.
so the teacher actually increases their influence. How does that work? It sounds backwards.
It does sound counterintuitive, but think about it. When you create that space for students to take ownership, it builds a different kind of connection, a deeper engagement. The power dynamic shifts from top-down hierarchy to more of a partnership. So by empowering them, letting them lead more, you often gain more respect, more real attention. When you do step in to guide or share expertise, they're more receptive.
Ah, I see. Stepping back makes your moments of stepping in more powerful.
Kind of, yeah. And this paradox, this stepping back, it enables two really key strategies for inspiring students.
Okay, what are they?
First, genuine, obvious passion for the subject.
Right. The speaker told that story about their 5th grade teacher in the constellations.
Yes, how that teacher's pure enthusiasm just lit a fire for science in them.
That excitement is contagious.
Totally contagious. When a teacher genuinely loves what they teach, students pick up on it. It makes the whole thing come alive, sparks their curiosity.
Okay, so passion for the subject. What's the second strategy?
A deep, real love for students.
Nah.
The speaker brought in the philosopher bell hooks here, talking about unconditional care.
Unconditional care. That's powerful.
It is. That commitment to their growth, their well-being, even on tough days. That human connection is just foundational.
Students have to feel safe and supported to really learn, don't they?
Absolutely. When they feel genuinely seen, respected, cared for, they'll take more risks, they'll push through challenges. That secure base makes all the difference.
Which brings us neatly to the final C the speaker added, the sixth C.
Yes.
Going beyond the curriculum, the techniques.
Yeah.
This is about the actual human bond.
Exactly. It's about seeing the whole student, remembering their hobbies, showing up to their game or their play.
Acknowledging stuff happening in their lives.
Yeah, the big things and the small things. Being genuine. Letting them know you see them, the person, not just the student.
The speaker gave some simple examples, didn't they? Like remembering a kid loves robotics or going to the school play.
We're just sharing a joke in the hallway.
Yeah, these little human things. They seem small, but the impact can be huge.
Huge. Those moments of real caring show you're invested in them as people. That connection, that can be the biggest inspiration of all. Way more than a perfect lesson plan.
So let's try and sort of wrap this up. What are the main takeaways for listeners here? It really feels like it boils down to two big things.
Okay.
Empowering students through real choice.
Agency.
And then the massive power of connection.
Yeah.
The teacher's passion for the subject. And just that fundamental love and care for the students themselves. Those seem like the real engines for engagement.
I think that's spot on. The 5 C's give you a great practical structure, a framework for that student-centered classroom.
Right, the puzzle pieces, as the speaker said.
Yeah, they fit together logically, but it's adding that intentional, authentic 6th C caring that really lifts it, that turns instruction into real inspiration. It's the emotional glue.
The emotional glue, I like that. And for our listeners, interested in getting knowledge efficiently, getting those aha moments, what stands out is how practical and, well, human this all is.
Yeah.
It's not just abstract theory.
No, not at all. It's concrete strategies, but rooted in something fundamental, connection. And that resonates way beyond the classroom.
You mean these ideas apply elsewhere?
Absolutely. Think about it. Anytime you want to motivate someone, inspire them. Work, family, community groups.
Okay.
Giving people choice, fostering real collaboration, encouraging critical thinking and creativity, and crucially, showing you genuinely care. That makes a massive difference. It boosts engagement, unlocks potential for growth.
Right. So as we finish this deep dive, maybe a final thought for people to chew on.
Okay.
We've talked about shifting to student-centered learning, the 5 C's framework, the impact of passion, and this vital 6th C, caring. So here's the question. How could you apply these principles? Choice, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, communication, and especially caring, not just in schools, but in other parts of your life where you want to inspire growth or build stronger connections?
Yeah, like in your workplace, your family.
Exactly. Your team, your kids, your community projects. Where could bringing in more of these elements create a more, well, inspiring environment?
That's a really good question to reflect on. And hey, if folks do want to dig deeper into the educational side,
Resources.
definitely. Check out organizations like the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, that's ASCD. Their website is www.ascd.org. Loads of great stuff there on student-centered learning.
Okay, ASCD.
Got it.
And also the American Psychological Association, the APA. They've got tons of insights on learning, motivation, development. That's at www.apa.org.
Perfect. ASCD and APA, great resources.
Really solid places to continue exploring.
Fantastic. And finally, we genuinely love to hear your thoughts. What clicks for you? What really inspires learning in your own life or experience?
Yeah, tell us.
Please like this deep dive and drop a comment with your own reflections.
Thanks so much for joining us today.